Streaming on YouTube. It's starting up right now. I was going to wait until the meeting started, so should be live. Streaming on YouTube. It's starting up right now. I was going to wait until the meeting started, so should be live.
Okay.
Streaming on YouTube. It's starting up right now. I was going to wait until the meeting started, so should be. Okay, so we are streaming on YouTube. I'm going to record now. Okay, so good evening. It's March 4th. It's approximately 7:15. This is the Westchester County Rent Guidelines Board public meeting for the scheduling of the June 2021 meetings. I have to read the introduction first, and then I'll hand it over to you, Elsa. Okay. So in response to the governor's directive to take every effort to keep New Yorkers safe and mitigate the spread of COVID-19, pursuant to Executive Order 202-1 and its updates, the Westchester County Rent Guidelines Board will be conducting a public meeting to, among other things, schedule dates for public hearings and meetings to determine the guideline rates of rent adjustment for housing accommodations, subject to the ETPA for leases commencing between October 1st and September 30th, 2021 to 2022 via teleconference. The instructions for the member of the public to listen to the meeting have been posted to the website. Afterwards, the meeting will be transcribed and the public will have the ability to view the transcript. So with that being said, I'll hand it over to you, Elsa.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It's very nice to see all of you. It's been a tough year. I can't wait to see you in person, all of you. It's been a trying year, and I'm glad we're all here and we're healthy, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm gonna take the roll now. Belen Aqua.
I'm present.
Lamont Bedreau.
Here.
Eddie Mae Barnes. But she's supposed to be on the phone, right?
Yeah,
Her trying to get on.
She is here. I just asked her to unmute herself, so.
Dorothy?
Hello?
Hi, Eddie Mae.
Hi, Eddie Mae.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
sorry. I am on. I'm here now.
Okay, glad to hear you. Elliot Cherson,
I'm here.
Kenneth Finger,
Here.
Evelyn Santiago,
Here.
Tamara Stewart,
Present.
and I'm Elsa Rubin, public member and chair of the board. And as I said, this is a meeting to establish the scheduling for the month of June 2021. And I hope everybody has the schedule handy and has the month of June available too, because that's important. We need to all be in sync. I don't know if, Peter, if you have any other comments or.
I guess the only thing that I'll bring up is that I know at the last meeting and in the interim, you had asked me about the new member for the Rent Guidelines Board. I just wanted to let the board know I reached out to the new chair of the Appointments Committee for the Westchester Board of Legislators, Tyree Woodson Samuels. I know that they're working on getting someone over to us. So I don't know how long that process is going to take, but it is in progress and we've reached out to them. So once we get that individual sent over to us, we'll be able to interview them, and if acceptable, they'll be appointed as a member of the board. Not sure at this point whether that'll happen before June, but at this point, that's where everything stands.
Okay, and who is the chair of that committee?
It's Tyree Woodson Samuels.
Okay. So that's, anybody else has any comment or question?
My only question of Peter is, when are these surveys going out, or have they gone out?
Yes, we did hear from Guy. So the notices by USPS have begun. They went out, I guess, February 22nd, 2021, and that informs them that the submission period begins March 1st, 2021. So that process has already started. I know that the question always is, how early can you get the research presentation and the numbers and all that? What we're hearing from Guy is that it's going to be the same as it has been in the past. So therefore, the earliest that they'll be able to hold the research meeting that they're willing to is June 9th, which is the exact same date that the research meeting was held last year. And that's a Wednesday, the second Wednesday in June.
I had a question about the previous topic. The member, if we don't have someone by June, in terms of the vote, I guess because we have an even number of people, there's a possibility of a deadlock.
Well, in order to have a valid move by the board, there would have to be a majority of the members, voting in favor of something. So, in other words, if there's not a majority, then it simply doesn't pass. So, the majority of the board is still 5, and if it's just got 4 members, then does that answer the question?
Yes, I'm just concerned that we have one less voting member, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that way for a while.
Yes, it has.
So you mentioned a date, June 9th.
Yeah, it's June 9th. Yep.
That is for,
That would be the earliest that the research unit is willing to hold the meeting for the presentation of their tabulations based on the survey that went out to the owners.
I
Well, it's all done online now.
still have a problem with that. It's supposed to be in the 45 days. That means April 15th. That means that for 2 months, although it's computerized, they can't put it together. To me, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Well, for whatever it's worth, that's my point.
Okay, well, we did reach out to them, and we, requested what the absolute earliest would be if anything would change this year. That's what we've heard from them. I guess my suggestion would be to bring it up at the research meeting in hopes that maybe next year it'll be, there will be an update. But I know this is a conversation that happens every year, and it's been happening much longer than my involvement with the board. So, at this point, they're saying June 9th is the earliest they can give to us.
Actually, we used to get it in May, if I remember correctly. Elliot, do you remember that? No?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's a new world, Kenny.
Yeah, the more computerized they become, the less efficient.
Whole new world.
All right, I will maintain my peace. Thank you, Peter.
All right. So is that, we're having a meeting June 9th? Is that what you're proposing?
Well, what I'm saying for the research meeting is that's the absolute earliest. I know the board wants it as early as possible. So since you are the first board to meet to set the meetings for this year, June 9th would seem to be what you guys would probably want to set that meeting for, because it's not going to get any better than that. So,
Okay.
And
So we
again,
have-
that was the exact same date that you set it for last year as well.
so we have first choice for the meetings and the hearings?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, good.
Move, we have it June 9th.
Who would we have on June 9th?
No, I'm suggesting,
Oh, move that you have it on June 9th.
take a motion that we have the research people June 9th. We can start with the hearings before that, and we can go after that.
Yeah,
Second.
Do we need to vote on each day?
I don't know, do we?
I don't think so. I think we
I don't
just,
think so.
agree on the days.
Right.
But we've done it in the past. I don't think we voted.
Okay, okay with me.
I have no objection to the research meeting on June the 9th.
Nor do I.
Neither do I.
Okay, so that's a
I'm fine
DHC,
with it.
at DHCR's office.
Well, I
Like
guess
live
that's something
people?
that
No,
I,
it's gonna be
We're
Zoom.
probably still
It's
on
gonna be
Zoom.
virtual, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, all
meeting,
of-
probably still
Right,
Zooming.
what am I saying? Silly me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know you want to see us.
So maybe, by then, maybe things will,
Be a little different?
by May 30, I'm hoping by Memorial Day, no more masks, everybody's vaccinated. But
I'll be frank, I'm gonna probably do it virtually.
Yeah,
I'm-
I bet money on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
All right, can we get some days? What are we, 3 hearings again?
I'm
3 meetings.
proposing Monday, the 7th for hearing number 1.
I'm okay with that.
Anybody have a problem with Monday, the 7th for number 1?
No,
Nope,
Nope, I'm good.
this is the first, it's the first
I
meeting,
don't,
First public hearing.
hearing or meeting.
A hearing
No,
or the
Well, we
meeting?
have
Public
the
hearing.
public hearing,
public hearing.
right?
Public
So this
hearing.
is the first public hearing on the 7th.
How about the 14th and 15th for the next 2?
I could go with the 15th for number 2, but I would like to see number 3 the week after.
21st? I'm good.
21st or 22nd.
21st is better for me. Mondays are better for me.
All right, so number 2 on the 15th, number 3 on the 21st.
Sounds
Does that
good.
work for other people?
Works for me.
Fine,
Yeah, it works for me too.
it's fine.
Now,
Yeah.
that leaves us only in my calendar, I only have the 22nd, 23rd, and 28th left. I'm busy the 24th and 29th and 30th. So 22nd, 23rd, and 28th, any 1 or 2 of those days, depending on how many days we want for argument, or can we do it all in one day, or what?
What about the 23rd for the presentations then?
All right. And 28th for the vote?
What day is the 28th? It's a Monday?
Monday,
Monday.
Monday,
That sounds good to me.
it's fine.
Sure.
Works.
so I do have a question about the dates. Last year, there was a presentation meeting, and then there was a rebuttal and vote meeting. So is the idea on the 23rd to have the presentation and rebuttal, or would it be like last year with the rebuttal followed by the vote meeting on the 28th?
Well,
I
if we,
think that would be better. The 28th have the rebuttal and the final vote.
And then the vote? Mhm.
Yes.
Agreed.
I'm agreed with that. In agreement.
Mhm.
Fine.
I still think we could do it all in one night, but if you guys want to, obviously. we
And
can.
that train has left the station.
Mhm.
Choo,
But we're,
choo, choo, choo.
but we're still having a meeting, so that should be fine, right? Mhm.
My trains never leave the station.
What? I didn't hear you. All right, so,
Okay, so just to recap, I have June 7th for the first public hearing, June 9th for the research, June 15th for the second public hearing, June 21 for the third public hearing, June 23rd for the presentation, and June 28th for the rebuttal and vote.
Yep,
Yeah.
Transit, I just thought of something. I have a question, Elsa, if it's okay.
it's okay. Go ahead.
Assuming it's a Zoom meeting, from my recollection, and I may be wrong, from last year, not too many people, especially the tenants, did not, and I'm not getting into reasons, it doesn't matter. There weren't too many people participating. And of course, when we did these things live, going to Mount Vernon and going to Yonkers and New Rochelle, White Plains, that made a lot of sense. But obviously, if we're not going to the physical places, do we have to have this many meetings? Can we do it in a shorter, do we have to have 3 public meetings first before we vote, or even have the presentations?
Yeah, I think Elliot has a point. If we have to be physically there, it's one thing.
Yeah.
Because we want the neighbors in that area to be present. But now things have changed. It's a different world. Anybody can participate from anywhere.
We don't have to be anywhere. We're
Exactly.
just gonna be right where we are right now.
Right,
Yes.
so may I suggest then that instead of the third meeting on the 21st, we have that meeting as the presentations, and then we go to the 28th and skip the 23rd.
Nope, not interested in doing that.
Why?
So,
Yes, why? I'm just asking, why not?
Well, because I know that there are, what I'm anticipating, and I don't have a date for it yet. Unfortunately, I could not get a date from the National Low Income Housing people for when they are going to release the out of reach report. But I really want to see what they have to say. They've been tracking how the pandemic has been affecting the housing market and tenants. And I really would like to have the opportunity to hopefully have them release that information, which is supposed to come out toward the end of the month of June, in order to be able to include that in my presentation.
So Tamara, do you
Abstain.
agree on having just 2 public hearings?
We can get rid of the one on the 7th if you prefer. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay,
I'd rather get rid of the one on the 15th. And just go for the 7th to the 21st.
I have no preference.
The Mondays are much better for me for whatever reason. So
would
forget-
you agree with that, Tamara?
If you would prefer to get rid of the one on the 15th, that's okay.
Yeah,
So we
Okay,
would just
good.
do the 7th and then the 21st
correct.
for the
Okay,
public hearing.
Right,
and 23rd for presentation and 28th for the vote.
yeah.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
I'm willing to do that.
And I think the state ought to take our $800 stipends that we're saving them and give us all a good dinner.
Peter,
Pardon me, Peter, is there any reason from your understanding of, schedules and everything, why it might be problematic if we were to shorten the schedule?
No, I was actually, kind of thinking the same thing myself. Last year, if
Okay.
you'll recall, the first 2 meetings, there weren't really too many speakers. The third meeting, it was several hours of speakers. So I don't know if, shortening it and only having 2 will change that. But in any event,
could I just ask Peter, if you don't mind, if you could check to me, and I don't know the answer. It's always been 3 public meetings. Is there a requirement that there be 3 public meetings?
No, I can tell you that. I checked the ETPA before we came on. There's nothing in there that requires you to have a specific amount of public hearings.
Okay,
So
good.
there's really no issue with deleting the 1 this year. And
Oh, good.
In fact, I think Rockland only has 1.
Rockland has 1, Nassau has 2, so you'd be in line with what Nassau is doing this year. And they're doing theirs, there's, from what I've been told, there's no possibility this is proceeding anything other than Zoom. So it will be via Zoom. It's not going to be in-person hearing. So
Maybe next year,
hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
hopefully.
I like
Better
that.
be. If it's not, we're in a lot more trouble than I thought.
Okay, so for clarification, are we having 2 public hearings or 1?
yes, two.
So my
Okay.
understanding is
So Peter,
public hearing
can
one
you
on the
do a
7th.
summary again, please?
Sure.
Okay,
My understanding is June 7th, public hearing number 1, June 9th, research, June 21st, public hearing number 2, June 23rd, presentation, June 28th, rebuttal and vote meeting.
Okay,
yes.
good. Okay.
And you're gonna send an email out, putting
Yeah.
that out.
They're gonna
Sure.
pump-
Well, I'm going to be putting together the public notice, which it has to go out a few weeks before the meetings actually occur, but I can send a summary to the board if you want that,
Yeah.
Chair. Okay, sure.
Please. And Elliot, that was a good point that you brought up. You know, I'm glad.
Mhm,
Thank you.
mhm.
So, motion to adjourn or what? Anything
Oh
else?
dear.
Yes.
Ready
I
to
think
say
we're
goodbye?
Okay, we're all set?
Yeah, just one
Very
more
good.
I
thing.
think so.
I haven't sent the voucher forms to the board yet, so I'll be sending those shortly to everyone. So you can sign those and get those back to me, please, like with the past board meetings.
Okay.
Got
Great.
it, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Oh,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
This meeting is
Third.
adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Be safe.
Everybody stay well.
Stay safe and healthy,
See
everybody.
you in
too.
June.
All.
Everybody in June. Hopefully by then, everybody's vaccinated and we're on the
Yep.
road to recovery.
Recovery,
There you
exactly.
go. Take care.
Okay, stay healthy.
All right.